All right, y'all, let's get into these loaded spaghetti squash boats. I really don't know what to call it, but I know it was so good. I kind of just came up with this recipe on the spot, but it's giving like Tuscan spaghetti squash, creamy, something of that nature. Y'all, if y'all got a name for this, let me know. But all I know is it was delicious. I was really craving spaghetti squash, and I also thought I wanted to show you guys how to make the perfect spaghetti squash because sometimes people can overcook it, undercook it. It's literally like a simple method to the madness, but overall, I'm going to show you guys how to put something tasty together. It's going to be plant-based. We're going to be using some oyster mushrooms here. Totally optional. If you don't like mushrooms, you can omit this, but I thought, of course, I got to have some mushrooms in my dish. So I have these big, beautiful blue oysters. So I started just by pulling some apart and I just set that to the side. Next, I'm gonna just saute up some vegetables, and right now I'm just gonna put some garlic butter on low. This is just some plant-based butter that I had already, and it had some garlic in there with some herbs, just like oregano, vegetable seasoning. All right, and once again, this is on low heat. I threw in some fresh minced garlic and some cherry tomatoes. I'm just gonna let that simmer and get all that flavor from my garlic butter. While that's cooking, I'm getting together my batter because I'm actually gonna fry these mushrooms. It's gonna be so good. I'm using my homie's trap batter, Tommy the Mushroom. I'll be sure to put the link to his trap batter in the description because y'all, this batter is so freaking good. Like, if you don't want to worry about seasonings or anything like that, you can just use this batter. It literally has everything you need and it's made with nice organic fresh ingredients. So I'm just using his batter to make a wet and I'm using it to make a dry. And I'm just gonna go in with one hand and I'm just gonna get it all nice and wet. These mushrooms, make sure they're fully coated, and then I'm gonna toss them into my dry batter. So I'm also keeping an eye on my sauteed veggies. I also threw in some red onions, and that's just simmering on low heat. Multitasking here, okay? So battering up these mushrooms, making sure it's all nice and coated, and I'm just gonna continue doing so. And I also turned off those veggies because they're definitely nice and translucent, which is what we wanted. All right. Y'all know why I thought like I had some flour on my face, but anyways, continue battering all of your mushrooms, and at this point you can toss them all pretty much in a bowl. I actually loved feathering them out with my fingers because I feel like it just gives the battered mushrooms like more crust, if you know what I mean. Almost like that Popeye's chicken crust, the more that you play around with them and batter them up. So make sure they're all fully coated. Make sure your oil is nice and hot. I like to make sure it's at 350, and then I toss them in and let them get golden crispy. Don't those look so good? Oh my goodness. You see what I'm talking about? You can see the flakes of the crust. Like, this just amazes me every time. So, yeah. And they don't take long to cook at all. Literally about 5 to 7 minutes or until they're nice and crispy and golden brown like this. All right, once those mushrooms are done cooking, I'm back over here in my pan and I just added in some vegan heavy cream and some vegan Parmesan. I also added in some spinach and this has become a cream sauce. Don't worry, all the recipe measurements will be below in the description. All right, now for our wonderful spaghetti squash. Before you bake it in the oven, you want to make sure that you scoop out the seeds, put a little olive oil, and bake it face down. So the part that you cut open, you want to make sure that's facing down on the tray. That way the steam can cook it and you'll get the perfect spaghetti squash every time. So I've pulled out my spaghetti squash with some tongs after I let it cool, and yes, it's definitely giving like angel hair. I just love how this turns out every time. This is also a great option if you want to keep it low carb. So today we're keeping it low carb a little bit. I mean, because we got the fried mushrooms, but it's real minimal. You know, we can have the fried mushrooms because we're not eating the pasta, so balance, okay? So I'm just adding my cream mixture inside of that, mixing it up with the spaghetti squash. I put my fried mushrooms on top of the spaghetti squash, and I also put everything in a little shell, aka the boat. So this just gives it a beautiful presentation. Also poured a little bit more of that sauce on top of those mushrooms, and feel free to garnish with whatever you like. But y'all, this was so amazing. Try this out and let me know what y'all think.